Once upon a time, there was a guy named Ronald the 86th. Ronald was on his way to work, but he got distracted and ended up falling on his knee. It was scraped really badly. There was blood everywhere. But don't panic. Your defense proteins have your back. In order to know why you will be alright, we need to start from the beginning. Inside a cell, there is a thing called a nucleus, which is also surrounded by a jelly-like substance called cytoplasm. The nucleus is the brain of the cell. It controls everything. Inside a nucleus, there is a thing called a nucleolus and DNA. DNA is the structure for building proteins, and the nucleolus is used for making ribosomes. For the protein to go out of the cell, the protein has to go through a nuclear envelope and nuclear pores by mRNA. mRNA holds the message to create the proteins. After the mRNA goes out of the nucleus and sends the message, that same message goes to the endoplasmic reticulum, aka the rough ER. As it travels through the rough ER, it goes through the ribosomes that are like hamburgers. Those big ribosomes produce the polypeptide chain that creates a rough draft of a protein. Then comes the ubers of the cell, the vesicle. These vesicles take the protein and help transport it to the Golgi apparatus, where then the Golgi apparatus forms the final protein cell, and another vesicle carries that perfect protein and merges itself into the cell membrane, shooting it out to the place where the protein is needed. In this scenario, we are talking about fibrin proteins. Fibrin proteins are defense proteins that help your injuries heal. During a bleeding injury, fibrinogen ubers from the liver to the injury. On the active site, the fibrinogen transforms into fibrin by the action of thrombin and forms a blood clot. Hours later, after this gap is formed, fibrin molecules form together to make a fibrin thread. After that, special blood cells called platelets spring into action, sticking together to form a clot for your wound. That stops blood and other fluids from getting out and bacteria from getting in the hypodermis, underlayer of your skin, through the epidermis, the outer layer of your skin. It also goes hand in hand with hemostasis. A week later, the injury has been taken over by epidermal cells that are working on the scab, which is produced by fibroblast activity, something that is used to tighten the skin after an injury. Going on several weeks later, the scab is now gone, but the fibroblast activity under the skin are still hard at work to create scar tissue that will over time lift the overlaying epidermis.